If you've been following me for a while now, you would know that I like to keep my beard in perfect order. I like to keep it straight, I like to keep it tight, I like to keep it nice and uniform throughout the entire 24-hour cycle, starting with that first styling first thing in the morning. And in general, if you follow my tutorial, how to remove beard curls, which goes through my entire routine right out of the shower, then you can get a styling that lasts typically throughout the entire 24-hour cycle. However, sometimes life is life, you get exposed to the elements, some elements just very, very extreme, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? Styling doesn't take. As you see, I just got out of work, and that first styling, even though I did it perfectly, didn't take, right? I got exposed to the elements. But first off, we're going to go into, how to prevent a bad beard day, and then we're going to go into the actual tips that how to make it look better as you go throughout the day, so you don't do something stupid and shave it off. So let's get into it. So the preventative measures. Naturally, if you want to have a beard that looks like you put some work into it, well, fun fact, you gotta actually put the work into it. If you follow a tutorial that is like my video, how to remove beard curls, and you buy all the necessary tools and you use high quality products, I have my favorite products listed down in the description and also in my pinned comments of this video. Those are all very, very high quality products that will, if used properly, will get your beard in the right place, right? If you're not doing that already, then expect to have, bad beard days galore, because that's kind of on you, right? That's not your beard's fault, that's your fault. Okay, if you want to have your beard in order more often, then you have to put the work in. Right. Another really interesting tip that a lot of people don't mention is that, and this really enters into the consistency of your styling in the morning, and that is not closing the door and blocking in all the steam after you shower. Right. It seems crazy, guys, but if you think about it, you shower, you close the door in, and there's all the steam from the heat of the shower, and then you're styling your beard, but at the same time, your beard is essentially getting wet even though you're drying it. It's just a recipe for an inconsistent styling, and that can lead to a bad beard day. I've had that many, many times. It never made sense to me. I figured it out, and now I'm passing it on to you, so there you go. But sometimes preventative measures aren't enough, guys. Beards can be messed up by extremely humid weather. Humid weather is not usually a huge issue. Sometimes it can be. With humid weather, it's just as simple as taking something like a heated brush and just applying some beard oil and just running it through a couple times, and it is good. But when it comes to extremely cold weather, and when it comes to rain and snow, ooh, that's a little rougher, guys, because what's happening, like rain and snow, for example, your beard is getting wet again. So it is pretty effectively undoing any styling that you did that morning, right? And all the hairs that were straight are now curled up because they got wet, right? So, and you could try to run this through your beard as much as you want, or you could try to get a blow dryer and try to iron it out as much as you want. It's probably not going to take. You might have to wet your beard again and just kind of call it a day. But I think it's really, really important to remember that we're kind of our own worst critic. What kind of looks bad on our face probably doesn't look as bad as it probably does. But if it is your own personal nightmare, and it just so happens that you are in a place that you don't want to be with a messy beard, but you are there with a messy beard, and you want some coping mechanisms and how to fix it immediately before you get embarrassed or whatever, and that's a severe situation, there are some coping mechanisms. So first off, I tend to find that a lot of the scraggliness that tends to happen throughout the day, you kind of at least feel a little bit better about it if you apply some beard oil, right? I think we kind of get a little bit you know, caught up in how the physical appearance, but then sometimes when we apply beard oil, we get it right down the skin, it starts to feel a little bit nicer, and mentally that can kind of help you. And then as soon as you apply beard oil, you can do something like this. So I have a synthetic boar's bristle brush here. Boar's bristle brush. It's synthetic, and then a nice round brush here. And this one's from Stylize, but I'll put one down in the description there. This one's not on Amazon. But what I like to do is get the brush underneath, the round, and then the round brush on top. Just kind of do one of these. This adds a little bit of straightness. I mean, if it's rained and if it's snowed or something like that, then the amount of straightness it's going to add is going to be minimal, but it's going to be better than nothing. And I like to just keep these around with me. I put this in my work bag, and you know, I sneak off to the bathroom and I just quickly, you know, just comb her through, right? And if that's not enough, what I like to do is I comb everything up like this, right? Do a little bit of rotation like that, and bring it all down just right along the side of the face. Right? Don't push it under, just right along the side of the face. Alright, that's starting to look a little better. Again, all that really happened to me was I was sweating, right? Which if you sweat like a lot, then that could really mess up your beard. But I don't sweat a whole lot, so it's quite manageable with just a bit of combing. But again, not all of the messiness is going to be undone just with these coping mechanisms. I'm going to have to jump in the shower again, unfortunately, to get rid of all of it. So as you can see, looking a lot better already. You know, add some mustache wax to the mustache, get it in a better place. All right. Worst thing you could do is trim it, guys. It's so easy to just go, wow, this looks terrible, I'm just gonna trim it off, or like, you know, oh no, these hairs are sticking out, so I'm just gonna trim everywhere. Like that's over time, if you do that like every single day, like it's going to thin out your beard, and it's just a flyaway one day is usually not a flyaway the next day. And you know, like the best possible thing you can do is get your beard to a state of growth where it's the most manageable for you. For a lot of people, they like growing very, very long beards, right? And what you're doing with that is you're establishing a lot of weight, and all you really have to do, like the beard kind of establishes its own weight, and even if it gets a little curly, it looks a little more natural. However, if you have a beard that's a little shorter and it starts to get a little curly, then it just kind of becomes one with the face, and it just becomes like, it looks like a parasite on your face, right? So like, I think for me, I'm gonna like a long beard. And that's why I'm doing a year right now. I'm gonna be growing this out for an entire year, and it's almost month 6 right now. And I think that's what's going to work for me. However, hey, some guys like to keep it right up tight to their face, which is a great, you know, a great recipe for never getting bad beard, or a bad beard day, because, well, there's no potential for that. You know, so find a beard length that works for you, right? Keep all the necessary products with you, right? So I in your little let's say work bag, I would keep these two. I'd keep some mustache wax, I'd keep some beard oil, and that would be my main thing. So I don't think beard balm is optional. You don't really have to bring beard balm. That's more of a thing you apply first thing in the morning. And if you have a travel size like heat brush, that's even better, guys. Right? There's some guys, there's some heat brushes that are like like a quarter of this size. They're like this, right? And that's like, I would love to have one of those, and I could carry that to work, and you know, just kind of work it through my beard, and that would be fantastic. But I don't have one, so if you can find one, hey, get your hands on it. And if you can afford it, and if you think it's worth the investment, then get one. Maybe I will in the future. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this, please, I can never say please. Please press the like button, subscribe, and have a wonderful night.